Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Elden Ring. My name is Cowdog. This is episode 15 of the Sorcery playthrough. We are in Ainsel River, Maine, which will lead down into Nokstella and eventually to the Lake of Rot. This is also a continuation of Ranni's quest. So if you haven't done those, you can reach this area through the Deep-Root Depths, or you can reach them through Ranni's Rise, of course, if you have done all of the steps leading up to Ranni's quest so far. Currently level 90. We found out last video the Academy Glintstone Staff plus 20 is actually roughly 2 points better than the Carrion Regal Staff at my current intelligence scores. Queen's Crescent Crown, still wearing the funny hat, and excuse me, the Tree Sentinel armor for very good poise and defensive values to offset the Magic Scorpion Charm defense penalties. Radagon Icon for casting speed, and Ritual Sword Talisman for getting in those first hits to burn things down before they become a threat. So, right off the bat here, we're going to grab the Mini Ranni. This is part of the quest here. You need to actually grab that item and then go to a Site of Grace here in Ainsel River, Maine. You'll have a new option that says Talk to Miniature Ranni. You do need to do this 3 times before she will actually talk to you.
Oh, or is it me? I hadn't expected now the form eliminate the name.
He tells you that you need to defeat the Baleful Shadows. These are assassins sent by the Two Fingers, camouflaged as allies. In this case, it's meant to look like Blythe. I know a lot of people think that it is literally Blythe, who has lost control of himself. That is actually not the case. Blythe is busy having a crisis of faith and intelligence and everything, losing his mind up here at Ranni's Rise. So we're going to continue through Ainsel River, Maine. Our main threat is one of these Astel antlion things that hangs from the ceiling. Claymen, which of course are very, very slow. You can simply run around them. This guy here will throw rocks at you. There is lots of cover. I recommend that you use it. As a melee build, this will be a little bit more challenging because you need to get a lot closer to deal damage, but as a spellcaster, we can simply go from cover to cover until we get close enough to actually just shoot with spells. Not too much different than we saw in the last underground area where we fought one of these. Okay, we do need to take these guys out just to give ourselves a good angle. The Claymen, of course, are here to annoy you. And there are quite a few of them, actually. Okay, on to the actual target. And there we go. Another Somber Stone 7. So that is yet one more way to get one of those if you did not want to do any of the other methods, such as going through Volcano Manor, the capital, into the sewers, or into Deep-Root Depths. Okay, we have the plants here, which spam Death Blight, and of course try to nuke you from orbit. On the other side, there's some more crafting materials. Although, at this point, it's not as though we really need more crafting materials. This is simply mostly for completion purposes. Alright, one last check to make sure we've got everything. That's back to the Site of Grace. We have some spirit items here. One more. Or two more. Oops. Apparently there we go. A little bit of clipping on the terrain. Then we can follow the water down to the next area. Once again, giant bugs. Lots and lots of giant bugs, actually. Okay, this type of ant is the one we've seen before with the giant shield on its head. It takes significantly less damage from the front. We actually also want to clear out to the right first anyway. No, I'm sorry. We do need to clear this guy first, I think. So once you've got its attention, what you want to do is try to bait an attack where it will leap into the air. Try not to get hit by it clumsily like I just did. And get around behind the shield. Wow, it's really not cooperating. This gives us access, of course, to this other area here. Have these cultist guys again. This, consequently, is the area above the previous area that we fought the antlion in the original Ainsel River, just off of the elevator in Liurnia. This gives us access to the upper area that we weren't able to get to before. So that item, you just simply have to go down here. Don't run down there just yet to grab that chest. Although I guess it doesn't matter. This is the Wing of Astel. Many intelligence players actually recommend that you use this item. I'm not a fan of curved swords in a general sense, but if you are going to use them, you should probably use ones that do status effects. But the Ash of War spam on the Wing of Astel is very good, especially if you stack magic damage increasing effects. You can do a lot of damage very quickly. Once you've got that, we're going to head back up here and go down the other passage. This will lead us to the actual Nokstella area. This zone is full of Nox and ants, lots of silver slimes, and many smithing stone upgrades. Okay, Site of Grace right here, very conveniently placed. If you do rest at the Site of Grace, Ronnie will have more things to say to you.
Let us speak. I was one of the demi. Each of us, which is when, as I would not. I stole. I would not. The two and the bale. I took baleful.
And unfortunately, for some reason, you are not allowed to use your horse here, despite the fact that the enemies can use their mounts, which is kind of unfair in my opinion, but I guess that's all part of being difficult. So you're going to encounter a lot of areas with stairs on the left. You probably want to clear the lower area first. However, this first one, I believe you can go ahead and safely grab without too much trouble. I like to clear out these ruins on the right first. And we have neighbor dogs, so give me just a moment. Dogs. Okay. I do like dogs, but not when they are the neighbor barking dogs at random things while I'm recording. Okay. More of these bad guys. We fought 2 of these before in Kaled. They are still relatively easy to take out. Occasionally, they will drop their equipment. Really, what I'm looking for are the robes, though. Those are the height of fashion. Okay. Nails. Lots and lots of slimes and more snails. Watch out for the ones on the ceiling. Oh. Well, I was hoping to get all 3 with one shot, but I guess the terrain disagreed with that plan. So these slimes that have the lightning on them, they do explode when they die. And if they are in the water when they explode, they will do additional AoE damage. So you can use that to your advantage if you kill them all next to each other. And of course, watch out for the snipers on the upper area. Oh, one dropped down. These guys have shields on the front, so you do need to get behind them to do full damage. And targeting is always a little annoying through here. The game never seems to want to target the one that you actually want to shoot at. Okay. So, rather than try to power my way through that, I'm actually going to go do the intended path, which is up the stairs. Now, this middle set is a dead end, but there is an item up here at the top of it. Eventually, we're going to loop back around to get those snipers off the cliff. There we go, goes to Levort. So we're going to head back to the first set of steps. Will lead us up there, up above. Now, along the way, there's going to be several buildings, some of which have doors that are open like this one, others that look like you should be able to open the doors. Unfortunately, most of the time you will not be able to. Check every one of these. Sometimes these are just terrain. Sometimes they are actually chests with items. FromSoft has trolled us pretty hard with most of these, unfortunately. There are also many silver tier husks, so if you need those for crafting materials, this is another place to farm them pretty well. You can also, as you've noticed, be pretty liberal with your use of your potions due to how many times you get refills through here. Okay. Slimes with shields. I mean, unless you really want the runes, it might be easier just to kill a couple and then run past. Almost not worth the effort to fight them at all. More somber 7s. So you've probably noticed a couple times now that slimes will often drop from the ceiling. This becomes a theme throughout the area. Sometimes the slimes are, a very large group. Sometimes there are things bigger than slimes on the ceiling, as we'll see in just a little bit after I cross the bridge over there. Oh, here it comes. Oops, I probably should have equipped my refill on my potions. You can always just retreat back here and safely blast at it. Game developers, please, by the way, if you ever find yourself making an enemy that does damage simply by touching the player, please restrain yourself and rethink your design. This is never fun. This is never interesting, especially in melee-focused games. Just please don't. Fortunately, we are doing a ranged build, so these types of enemies do not threaten us quite as much. They can still be dangerous, because once they knock you down, they do become kind of a problem. Okay, so teleported in behind you. That sort of enemy design is right up there with doors that have to be opened with NPCs, unskippable cutscenes, and boss fights where there are unlimited enemy spawns. This is lazy design. I do not like it. I hate every encounter where developers resort to this sort of thing. It's not fun. It's not creative. It is just annoying. Anyway, enough complaining about game design. So here's one of those doors that looks like you should be able to open it. You cannot. I'm not sure why. Maybe it was cut content. Who knows? And more smithing stones. And then once we get in here, you may have noticed on the ceiling, we have another one of these spheres, and it will drop slimes on you. Okay. More loot. Another Somber 7. Somber 6. And we have a sort of mini boss fight. These two slimes will turn into humanoid versions, one with a Zweihander, the other with, I can't remember, I think it's a spear and shield or something. Probably safer just to batter through this guy's shield rather than trying to bait him into attacks where he lowers the shield. Oh, and there's the armor. Very nice. Okay, Moon of Nokstella allows you to have an additional memory slot for your spells. Honestly, I'm not sure why you would want this. Having more spells available is not always an advantage. We've gone over this pretty extensively in the very first video, if you wonder about my opinions on that. Nice, you can even wear this while maintaining 51 poise, although those leg armor and gloves look kind of silly. So, can we get down to light equipment load is the question. Yep. Still medium. Go super light. There we go. Still kind of silly looking. See how far we can go up here before getting medium. Okay. Bellblade trousers. Okay. Sort of wizardly looking. Let's match those green with the green. There we go. Maybe not the best idea, honestly. I tend to take a lot of hits when I'm trying to explain things while recording. So we'll see if this causes us a real problem. So after clearing all that out, this elevator will take us back down to the water level, the basement, where all of those silver slimes and things are. Fortunately, it will put us on the far side of the map here, so we're going to be behind all of those sniper slimes that were giving us problems earlier. There's not actually anything over here besides ants and these crafting materials. But refills on potions are always good. Oh, and I was wrong. There is something over here. More stone sword keys are never a bad thing. Okay, this is where those sniper slimes were earlier. So as you can see, there's not actually anything up here worth fighting for. We have only a couple more things to get here in Nokstella. That down below is where we fought the Dragonkin soldier at the end of the Ainsel River video. Oh, that guy did not get caught by the explosion. Interesting. Okay. Oh, one more slime. Watch out for the explosion. And a second celestial do. So, if you are hitting a lot of NPCs and making them angry at you, this is the place to go, so that you can do the ritual at the Turtle Pope to reset their aggro. That's all of Nokstella. Next up is, I believe, a short area leading to the Lake of Rot. We should have the Baleful Shadow fight. This mimics fighting Blithe, so be prepared for that. As a spellcasting build, this should be relatively easy for us, although he does have quite a few abilities to rush into melee range. So you're going to spend a little bit of time running away. Ronnie has more things to say about her quest. More spirit upgrade items throughout this area. You can run around and grab them, although at this point you should have more than enough to upgrade any of the spirits that you actually want to use. I think there's one... Nope. I thought there was one more. Okay, at the end of this passage is where we will have the Baleful Shadow fight. There are a couple of these Deathblight spitting basilisks. We'll take them out. Okay, so get your Wonders Physic out. Try to get the first hit in if you can.
Oh, Shadow, thou art the last. Tell the two fingers that Rani the Witch cometh to rend thy flesh with a fateful wound.
Looks like his AI might have broken since he's not doing any of his attacks. I'm okay with that.
Beautifully fought. My thanks. 'Twas more of a challenge than I envisioned.
More of a challenge. Yeah, not really, Ronnie. Sorry.
Stand before them. This is farewell, my dear. Tell Blythe and Iji I love them.
I think what I will need to do is a second playthrough using melee with the dual pickaxes, just to show that you can make the game very easy with things other than spells. This may be a bit of a misleading series of videos. Range does give you a pretty significant advantage, I can't lie. I've said it a couple times, though. Once you reach the DLC, things even out pretty well, though. So, okay, here we are at the Lake of Rot. A lot of people struggle with this area. They tend to rely on Flame Cleanse Me, which is an incantation. In my opinion, it is mostly unnecessary. You have more than enough potions. The tactic that you want to use is to run to a specific area, grab the items, and then fast travel back to the site of grace rather than trying to constantly cleanse yourself. It's simply much easier to do. So, the rot buildup here is very quick. This rot also does significantly more damage than other forms of rot, so be prepared to suck your potions down. Also, be aware that, of course, if you're in combat, you will not be able to fast travel. So you may need to plan to kill everything in the immediate area in order to escape being rotted to death. If you need, of course, by this point we have 38 preserving boluses and the ability to craft more, up to, what does that take us to? 50, which I'm sure is the cap, so more than enough if you really, really need them. Dedicating a spell slot to cleansing rot has always seemed something of a waste to me. So, your mileage may vary. There's not really a wrong way to do this, but I find that this way is much easier. So, throughout the Lake of Rot, you'll have these platforms. Once you stand on them, they create more areas raised above the rot for you to walk through. This lets you get further into the area without actually suffering the rot buildup. There are still going to be items that you need to go out into the rot in order to get, so keep that in mind. Basilisks pop up for some reason, as though you need a death blight on top of rot. You can extend the distance that you can run to grab items by using your Wondrous Physic and your Talisman slots to add regeneration effects, if you need to. Again, I find it very easy just to go back to the Site of Grace. Okay, so we've got the map, we've got one platform set up. We have this dude out in the middle of nowhere. He does have a talisman, so we're going to run straight to him and kill him next. Recommend topping off your health first in case he does get an arrow shot off on you. Oftentimes, killing all the enemies in an area also will refill your potion flasks. So, like this spot over here, you can kill these guys. There we go. This can also allow you to get a little bit further into the area. Okay, so I don't think I can make it over there yet, so I'm going to go ahead and head back here. That's that spot. We still need to get this set of ruins over here. And along this side as well. There is a boss here. It's a Dragonkin soldier. Probably best to unlock all of the platforms first, since that will give you much more distance into the lake without having to deal with rot buildup. Also, be very careful not to dodge roll through the rot. If you do this, rot gets stuck onto your clothing, and the rot buildup will continue even after you are out of the funk. You can stop this effect by using soap. One of the rare cases where using soap in the game is actually useful. Activating all of the platforms may take you several trips. A little bit low on health there. Make sure you do kill these guys along the way so they don't lock you into combat if you do run out of heal potions and are unable to fast travel because they have you locked into combat. You don't necessarily need to wait for the platforms to come all the way up, and simply run straight to the next switch. This one's going to be a little bit close. Got one more potion left. Should be fine. Okay, if you happen to fall off of this platform, the way you get back up is right down there. There's a ramp. You can come up and then climb up this ladder to get here. So what I'm going to do is not to drop to my death, I think. Let's see. There's a boss here. It is one of those Alabaster Lords. I think it should be no problem to take him out. That way we don't have to come back up here again. There we go. So that gives us another somber 9. Does that have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so now we can upgrade our Lusat's staff all the way to 9, in addition to the Carrion Regal Scepter. The Lusat staff does have higher spell scaling, so I'll do that right before the boss fight, which is at the end of the Lake of Rot. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do that now, because that'll help us against the Dragon Soldier as well. Here we go. And that is right here. Oh, it's already at +8. So all I needed was that +9. Okay, so that's going to give us... Let's take a look here. Do need to pop that Wondrous Physic for the +10 Intelligence. The Academy Glintstone +20 is 279, and Lusat's... Oh, I still don't have the Strength for it. 290. I don't think the Strength matters for spell casting. I could be wrong about that. I don't think there's a way to test it very well. Pretty sure the Strength scaling is just about melee damage. Oh, this is irritating. I forgot how annoying these guys were to fight. Okay, let's do it this way. Okay, it's 702 with the Carrion Slicer. And 668 with the Academy Glintstone. Okay, so the spell scaling with Lusat's does not consider the strength when determining damage, which is good. I wish I'd known that earlier. Okay, back to the Lake of Rot. We'll get these last areas around the edge. There is one more platform to raise. I believe, if I'm not mistaken. It is the platform that the boss uses. Trying to remember exactly where it is. I think it's on the far wall. Alright, what I think I'm going to do is actually head all the way to the next site of grace here, right before the next area. That way I can approach from this side of the Lake of Rot instead of trying to come all the way from the beginning. Pretty sure I should have enough. Alright, perfect. Alright, a couple of items over here first. No, I'm gonna get rotted anyway. Might as well just run straight there. If this constant fast traveling back to sites of grace proves to be too annoying, of course you can always just burn through your boluses to cure it, or you can use the flame cleanse me. I know a lot of people prefer that style. I don't find it too annoying, but your mileage may vary. Scarab here for some crafting materials. Oh, I missed. That should have given me a refill on my potions, and it didn't for some reason. Which means I'm probably going to have to retreat. Maybe not. Let's do this. One extra potion charge. What we're going to do here is actually run up these ramps. Hopefully not falling off into the rot. Oh, like so. Good job. Okay, a little bit of platforming here, a little bit of parkour. You do want to be very, very careful not to fall in because there are several of these dirt bags down below. I honestly recommend you probably take them out first, just in case. You should also get another charge on your healing potions if you do. And it will save you the headache of not having to fight them after falling down by accident. Alright, 2 more charges. Perfect. So they try to tempt you by putting this pillar right here. Honestly, it's easier if you just walk forward and jump. Gets you that mushroom crown. The exit is that way. We'll head up towards number 4 here. And there is that final switch to raise the platform for the boss, so this is perfect. I don't think there are any more items worth getting. In fact, I've already gotten that one, so let's head back to the Site of Grace. And we'll head into the boss. Same as we fought any of the previous Dragonkin soldiers, he will do a short introductory animation where he gets really angry. You should be able to get a lot of hits in on his face in that time. That should give you enough time to get in some really, really good hits. You'll probably get rotted at least once on the way to the boss fight, so your health potions might suffer just a little bit. If that's the case, simply allocate a few more at the Site of Grace before doing the fight. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pop that Preserving Bolus. And I should be able to make it over to the platform before getting rotted a second time. So let's go. Nope. That's okay. Alright. Top off to get that bonus of the Ritual Sword Talisman. You won't be able to lock the boss initially, so you're going to have to blind fire right at the beginning. As you can see, he's taking significant damage. And perfect. I didn't even have to switch to Lusats, which I should have. Oh well, it is what it is. Some runes. And I think that is all of the loot in the... Oh, one more. 2 more. More runes we can always use. Alright. So the next area is full of pests. If you remember, these are the guys with the pole arms that have the homing bug missiles that they shoot at you. There is a little bit of platforming here. There is also an ulcerated tree spirit, which you end up fighting in a rot area. I'll show you an effective way to deal with that. And I missed the drop down. There's an item up there if I remember right. Maybe not. So over here, you know, one of these dudes, and take him out. So once you get over there to grab those items, the ground will start to rumble. The boss will pop up. You do not want to fight him in that narrow area. You want to actually run back here to this open area and fight the boss here. You notice these guys are patrolling over and there's this guy here. So you do not want to fight the boss and these guys at the same time. So make sure you take these guys out first. Okay. Once you've done that, you do want to have your Preserving Boluses ready. Oh, that back on. I'm actually going to put it on the quick slot, so I don't have to think about it. It's just going to be right here next to my mana potion. You may even want to not try to get the loot. Just run over, and as soon as the ground starts shaking, then retreat. Like so. Run around the corner, pop your bolus so you don't get hit. Wondrous Physic. And here we go. Up to you if you want to use Parry and Slicer up close. More efficient, but more risky. And the explosion. Oh, I'm going to get blasted so hard by this. Oh. Gonna explode again. Oh. Try to not run into the rot if you can help it. And there we go. Obviously, once it's toast, we get the golden seed, as we normally do when we beat these guys. Then we get these pieces of loot over here. Hitting stone 7 and the 6. We get fast travel back up. And the next thing we will be fighting is the boss. This is the... what is he called? Astel Bastard Stars, or Natural Born of the Void, or something to that effect. Oh. Should not have missed that drop. Surprised I didn't take fall damage, honestly. Alright, a couple more pieces of loot. These annoying dirt bags. And still using loose stats. Nice, both with one shot. You don't actually have to kill every last single one of these. I just find it satisfying to clear areas, so... Oh, and he did not die. Clearing these guys is much easier with melee. You can actually sneak up on them. Get him with a fully charged R2. Alright, one more. Up here we have the Scorpion Dagger, I think it is. Scorpion Stinger. Yep, this is a dagger that does rot damage. And I'm going to actually teleport one last time to reset all the potions, and then we'll go fight the boss. Okay, the actual boss fight is down around the corner here. We're going to run past all of the enemies to reach the coffin that will take you to the boss area. There is a fog wall right after the teleport, so don't worry too much about that. We do want to avoid getting the attention of any of these pests because we want our entire complement of potions to be able to do this boss fight. You can go to the left or right. Usually the right is safe, but you might get the attention of one of these dudes. Okay, Most of the boss's damage is magic damage. If you do need to equip some resistance items, definitely focus on magic damage. There is one attack that the boss does that is more or less instant death if it hits you. He will teleport away and then try to grab you. This is a little bit annoying to avoid because finding the boss in time to see the animation can be a little bit annoying. You may need to spin your camera quite a bit in order to see that attack. He doesn't always do it, but oftentimes after about 30 to 40% of his hit points, he'll give it a try. The only other attack that you really need to worry about is the meteor attack. He will start waving his hands in the air and opening a bunch of portals. Meteors will come flying out from behind him. The best way to avoid that is to simply strafe sideways, occasionally jumping or rolling if you think a meteor is a little bit too close to you. Initially, as soon as you enter the boss arena, there will be a laser beam that he shoots at you. You'll need to wait until you hear the sound effect. It will be a high-pitched noise. At the very end of that noise, you want to dodge that laser. After that, we're going to run straight at the boss, and we want to maintain roughly a mid to long range distance from the boss. This will make avoiding most of his attacks pretty easy, outside of those ones I already mentioned that are the most dangerous. So, here we go. And I dodged too early. Spam rolling is usually pretty good to work here. Oh, he's doing the second one. There we go. He may do his tail. Pretty easy to see coming, although dodging badly doesn't help things. Anytime he does one of those spin attacks, just get back to a medium to long range. This will help you avoid attacks like this gravity thing that he's doing right now. And you do want to try to shoot him in the face as much as possible. This will let you do the most damage. This is probably the grab attack. There it is. You missed, buddy. Sorry. There's that laser beam again. I think I'm going to actually stick with the Academy Glintstone. It seems like Lusat's is costing just a little bit too much. Okay, here's the meteor attack. Probably should have spam rolled. As you can see, even with light armor, the damage is not too dangerous. It's mostly just the gravity attacks and the grab you need to worry about. Get out of range of that. Nope. Okay. So, again, the main thing to worry about is the grab attack. It is super, super annoying. We will actually fight this guy one more time later on in progression in the Consecrated Snowfields. That version has actually a worse attack than than the ones he has here. It's pretty annoying, but I'll discuss that when we get there. For the time being, we're going to head up ahead here. As you can see, the way is blocked. I believe we need to speak with Ronnie, or maybe she already gave me the item. I don't remember, actually. Also, I probably should have used that seed beforehand. In order to bypass this particular seal to progress the quest, you need to go to Rhea Lucaria. And in Renala's room, there is a chest that was locked, and that is opened with the key that Ronnie gives you if you have progressed your quest far enough. So, Dark Moon Ring, you don't have to have it equipped, you simply have to have it in your inventory. Astel's room is here. And as you can see, the seal is now... Wait, is this the right way? Yes. So the seal is no longer blocking the way. You can progress to the next part of Ronnie's quest. This will take you up to the area that everybody wonders about when they're in Liurnia. Right here. This is the Moonlight Altar area. It is a little bit of a long elevator ride. And there's actually enough things to do in this area that it's going to kind of deserve its own video. So I'll do that next time. And I will also cover the... no, I think I'll just have this be its own video. So, here we go. Side of Grace conveniently placed. Things are progressing pretty well so far. And struggling a little bit with a couple of dodges along the way, but otherwise we're doing pretty good. So, still level 90. I'm going to leave it there until I get into the capital. I'll do Moonlight Altar next, and then I will do the capital after that. So, hopefully you guys have been enjoying and learning a couple of new things. Sorcery remains very, very strong, as I'm sure you've seen. So, hopefully you have not got the wrong idea about it so far. But my name has been Cowdog, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.